Hey there, and welcome to Crochet Therapy. I'm Barbara, your host for this episode number 7 in the 12 weeks of Crochet Christmas. And today we have a throwback of something that I did a crochet along for, but I wanted to throw just a short tutorial up for you because this is something that is so easy to make, and it's something that I really wanted in the Crochet Christmas collection. I'm going to show you. Okay, so I've made several of these, and I'm going to show you all of the ones that I've got made so far that I haven't given away, okay? Now, this side has the scrubby, along with the cotton, and then this side has all cotton. And as you can see along the edge, there's a little bit of scrubby there, and that's okay. So this is a cotton kitchen sponge, and as you can see, it is just so versatile. It's easy to hold in your hand. It's sturdy. It is 3 layers of cotton, and it is going to be fantastic. So whoever you give this to is going to absolutely love it. Love it, love it, love it. Especially during 2020, it seems like a lot of people are getting into cooking. And when you cook, what do you have to do? Well, you have to wash those dishes. And so nothing better than a handmade 100% cotton sponge. And I just love these. This is the latest, and you're going to see this one in progress in just a moment. So stay tuned and follow along with this easy, quick, and fun tutorial. Happy crocheting! Okay, let's get started. First thing we'll go over is what we need to make this cotton sponge. We will need Scrubology cotton or any type of scrubby yarn. This is from Hobby Lobby, and as you can see, it has little scrubbers on it, but it is still 100% cotton. We also need cotton yarn, 100% cotton. We need an H hook, and I am using my Clover hook, Clover Amour. It's my favorite hook. You will need a yarn darner, a needle, to weave in our ends at the end. You'll need scissors, and you may or may not need a stitch marker. If it helps you, then by all means, please use a stitch marker. Okay, let's get started. I already pulled out the center of my yarn. Oh, I find this cotton yarn is a challenge to get out, so I gave myself a little head start here and pulled out the center. Okay, let me move this out of the way. And what we're going to do is make a slip knot. There we go. You can make a slip knot however you like. If you need additional help making a slip knot, I do have tutorials regarding that, and there are plenty out there on YouTube. Okay, so we have our slip knot, and we are going to chain 20. Okay, there's 20. Once we have 20 chained, we are going to skip the first chain from our hook. We never count what's on our hook. So the loop that's on our hook, we don't count. We skip that first chain, and we go into the second chain from our hook, and we will make a single crochet. And from there, we will make a single crochet in all of the stitches down, all of the chains down. And so we will end up with a total of 19 single crochets. Now take your time, because this first row after the chain is always a little challenging because that chain wants to flip flop. And so just take your time. Don't feel like you're in a hurry. We don't have a race to get to. There we go. Now sometimes some crocheters like to go into the back hump, and that's all well and good, but since we are going to be putting everything together at the end and doing a complete border, there's no need. So we'll just go into this. It doesn't matter if we have a nice edge or not, because we're going to crochet over it. So, okay. When you get down to the end, you may want to do a quick count and make sure that you have 19 single crochets. Okay, you know me, I like to count. So I'll go ahead and count from this work. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and 19 is this last stitch right here, is our 19th stitch. So what I'm going to do is chain 1 and turn our work. Once we turn our work, we have the loop that's on our hook, and we have that chain 1. We're going to ignore that chain 1, and we are going to single crochet in that first stitch right there. And make sure that you get both loops. Do you see that? Let me see if you can see that. The loop right there. There we go. And we are going to single crochet in every stitch down all the way to the end, and we will again have a total of 19 single crochets. We are going to do this pattern for a total of 30 rows, and when you get to the 30th row, join me back here and I'll show you what to do next. Okay, gang, we're ready to get started with the next section. I have made a total of 30 rows, single crochet, 19 across. And so with that 30th row, we are ready to move on to adding and incorporating in this scrubby yarn. Okay, I have a nice little yarn barf here. You know how that goes when you first pull out some yarn. So we'll see how that goes. I'm going to give this end a little clip because I see some strings hanging on. Just want to make it easier on myself. There we go. Okay, so what we're going to do is take our hook and insert it into this loop of the cotton yarn. Okay, and then we are going to leave a nice little tail, but we are going to hold this yarn with the cotton yarn and the scrubby yarn together. Okay, so that's how we're going to do it, and we're just going to start chain 1 and turn our work. Now what I'm going to do is bring this over across the top, and I am going to incorporate that into all of my stitches, okay? So let me give that a little tug, give that a little tug. There we go. We don't want that loop to be too big. And yeah, with us incorporating another yarn, it could potentially get a little big, but that's okay. So what we're going to do is go into that first stitch, and we are going to single crochet using both yarns. Now, be aware that as you crochet, it is going to be thicker. Oop, I did not do a single. Okay, here we go. Let me try this one more time. Single crochet, single crochet, and do you see how I'm looping this over? I'm incorporating this end underneath the work, and with this scrubby yarn being as scrubby as it is and as textured as it is, it's really very unlikely that it will slide out. Okay, so especially this first row, we're just going to take our time. We are not going to go too tight because this is going to be a nice chunky bit of yarn that we are incorporating. This is going to be the nice scrubby part of our sponge. Okay. And I really do love these sponges, and they are so well received as gifts. They really are. You know, those who just really appreciate a good quality cloth, a dishcloth, a scrubby sponge, you know, these are really hard to come by because somebody has to really like you and make it for you. So I'm going to make sure that I have my yarn all together. You just want to make sure that your yarn stays together so that you can crochet it as one yarn. Okay, very nice. Don't forget to get into that last stitch right there. There we go. And now we are going to do the same thing that we have done for 30 rows. We are just going to continue that. We are going to chain one and turn our work. Now, we are going to do our best. If you bring this up a little bit, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can see the stitches. You really can if you just take your time. So we are going to continue single crocheting all the way across. Just do your best. Take your time. Don't let this yarn intimidate you. See, sometimes it'll get caught. Then we just try again. No big deal. The beauty of this is that with that scrubby yarn, the individual stitches kind of get a little bit disguised with the scrubby. And so if you do have trouble at this point, it's more than likely not going to show. Just take your time though and do your best. It is a little bit harder on the hands, so that's why you want to take your time. If your hands start hurting for whatever reason, maybe it's just using the double strand, maybe it's the stickiness of the scrubby yarn, just set it down for a moment, massage your hands, give your hands a break, and then go back at it. One thing I've learned with using double strands of yarn, if my hands start hurting, I need to listen to them right away. Because if I don't, then I may pay for that weeks at a time. You know, so it's better to be kind to your hands, take care of yourself, go slow, but boy, are these worth it. Let me tell you, they are really, really worth it. Now I like this. I used the same yarn with my maroon sponge that I made. And because this scrubby yarn has maroon and it has blue, so I used it with the blue, and you can see right now the scrubby part is mostly white and maroon, but pretty soon I'm going to get into some blue, and that's going to give it a really nice look. So this last stitch, and then we're going to chain one and turn our work. Now this, just to give you an example, this is 2 rows and this right here is 2 rows. Now if I were to fold this over, this is actually going to go down 4 rows, just because this is a little chunkier. We're using 2 strands of yarn. So let me show you what our goal is, okay? With this sponge, we are going to fold this in half, fold the cotton only in half, okay? And then we are going to fold this over, and that will make the triple layer. So as we're crocheting this part, we are going to crochet this until we reach this point right here. And this is where we're going to stop. So I'm not going to tell you how many rows you need to do, simply because it's not going to be 15. You know, we did 30 rows here. So, I mean, we can do the math. 30 divided by 2 is 15. So there's approximately, give or take, because of you know, scrunching this up, there's 15 on either side. And then, but then when we bend this over, you know, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. So, you know, we've done 2 full rows. So we're just going to keep going until we reach this end. And then I'll meet you back here and I'll show you how we do the border. Okay, so keep on crocheting, but keep folding this and keep in mind where you're going to stop. Okay, all right, let's keep crocheting the same pattern that we did for the cotton only. Okay, all right, and I'll meet you back when we get enough. Okay, well, I have made a total of 11 rows, and if you'll watch, I fold this over, and then I fold this over, and it's perfect. So what we're going to do now is we want to cut the scrubby yarn, leave enough of a tail so that you know, it can be worked in or you know, taken care of however we need to. I'm going to separate this from the cotton, and here we go. Alrighty, so now we are going to take care of our ends. I have, let's see, do I have another needle already out? Let me check. Oh, I probably do. Let's take a look at this. Okay, so this is where the original corner was. I'm going to go ahead and weave that end in so that we don't have to worry about that. And okay, so we're just going to weave this in back and forth 3 times. This is also going to be in the center of our sponge, so it shouldn't have any problem with coming undone, because this part is not even going to be seen. It's not even going to be on the outside. But just for kicks, we'll go ahead and do that. I'm going to leave it like that because it doesn't matter. Really doesn't matter. So we're going to fold that over and kind of get this out from under. We're going to fold this over and line this up. Now, as far as this yarn is concerned, we are going to, let's see, we are going to somehow, there we go. We're going to do that. We're just going to tie it up, and that will be a-okay. All right, so we're going to put our hook back into the cotton yarn. We're going to chain 1 and turn because we want to go back the other way, and we are going to go through this loop, and we are going to go through both sections, and we are going to go all the way down, creating our own stitch of single crochet all the way down, and we're going to just go into each of these loops and then find a loop, and we're going to do that all the way around. Okay, now when you get to, you're going to go all the way down, and then we're going to, I'll show you what we do at the corners. Okay. It's easier for me, I find, especially with my hands being so sensitive, if I just go through, there we go, if I just go through this top part first and then work my way through the double layer of cotton. And we're just going to keep on going till we get down to the end. The whole thing is that we want to get all the layers. So that is not cooperating. What is not? There we go. Okay. Just be patient and it will work out. Okay? I don't want to go too low. Sorry, I have a habit of doing that. I have a habit of pulling the work right up to my face if it gets any bit challenging. Oh my goodness. Of course, then you wouldn't be able to see it or follow along, so I don't want to do that while I'm doing a tutorial for you. I know this looks clunky, and it is a little bit clunky, but you know what? It's okay. It is a-okay. The final product is going to be so amazing. People aren't going to know that you were a little clunky when you were doing the edges. Nope, they will not know a thing. So you see I'm trying to keep these edges even, because honestly the part that has the scrubby yarn has a tendency to be chunkier and bigger, and it's so easy for it to be wider. So I am just kind of I am encouraging it to even out. So with this one, when we get to the edge, I'm going to do two crochets on that side, and I'm going to go, and I went straight into the same exact stitch. I did 2 crochets, and then on this side I'm going to go back in twice into the same stitch and do 2 crochets, 2 single crochets into that same stitch on the side. Sorry if I'm wobbling the camera a little bit. As you know, this is a little bit challenging, but it is doable. It is totally doable. So I have an edge here, and I'm going to go in twice in the same exact hole. There we go. And then I'm just going to follow my way down evenly. And there we go. And I'm just going to keep on going, keep on trucking. Not going to let anything stop me. When I get to this corner, I'm going to do the same thing. When I get to this corner, I'm going to, and also on this edge, I'm going to make sure that I have 3 layers, okay? When I get to this folded edge, I am going to do my best to encourage 3 layers. And I'm going to go down this side, and then down this side. Encourage the 3 layers. There we go, just like that. And I'm going to go up to this side, and then I'm going to do 2 single crochets, and depending on how that corner looks, I may do a single crochet on this side just to give 4 in this corner as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and continue going around the edge, just a single crochet, very easy, and then we'll be done. We will have our crochet kitchen sponge. Meet you back when we're done. So what do you think? Easy, huh? Yes, this is so easy to make and so quick, and it doesn't take any time. And it's just a really, really good project. And people are going to look at this and they're going to wonder, how did you make this so thick? How did you do this? And that's the best part of crochet. I love that part of crochet, when people that you give a gift to look at your work and just wonder, how in the world did he or she do that? Yes, that's my favorite part. So I hope that you had fun, and stay safe, be kind, and get hooking, and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and that way you'll get notifications when new tutorials come out, and hit the bell so that you definitely get the notifications. Hit the like button and share me with your friends, because I'm sure that there's somebody out there, some other yarny, loving person who would love to make these as well. So thanks a lot, and we'll see you next time.